Hey folks, Doc here. I'm back in the shop. That didn't take long. That's the plan anyways. More videos, more frequently. We're going to get back on her. Anyways, I'm back in the shop today and I'm not alone. Got my pal Greg in here. We're working on some stuff and I'm going to show you what we're working on, introduce you to Greg, and introduce you to the new project. Stick around. Alright, it's Transaxle Day here at Area 51, and Greg is working away at getting this thing cleaned out and ready to roll for his new project. He's joined the dark side. If you watch the Donkey Stomp video, we had a bunch of ATVs and tractors doing that charity run for Chris, and Greg joined us on an ATV, and I guess he caught a glimpse of the madness and stupidity that we commit on lawn tractors. And decided that that was for him. Sorry.
I mean, like, it's okay, guys. This is the way that it's gonna go, I guess.
Since the wood stove is going, seems like it might be a good time for some manifold burritos, kind of without the manifold. All right. So as you're madly cleaning away, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your project, Greg.
Well, I'm Greg. Right now, currently, I'm working on the Dock Locker 2.0, the Peerless MST 206 turned into a 205. Chris has went over that in another video, though.
Did too.
So anyways, once I get just a little bit more of this cleaned up, because we all know how brake cleaner works, it likes to evaporate. I'll go over what this is going to go in. I don't know if you guys can see it all in front of you. Nope. Doesn't look like the camera's in view of what we're working on at all.
Not in shot right now.
So, in front of me, I'll tell you a little bit about it, is a Ford LT10 lawn tractor. Well, clearly, because that's what Doc decided to get me involved with, is lawn tractors. So, we're going to essentially rebuild MULE. You guys have seen that in lots of other videos, I'm sure. MULE was one of the greatest projects and one of the first projects that Doc ever came up with, and it is, in my opinion, a pretty mean rig. So I wanted to rebuild that, do a little bit of what do you call it, a throwout, or in memory of, geez, I can't think of words right now, guys. Tribute. There we go. Doc's smart enough for this.
Smart enough for something, not sure what.
So what we're working on actually is the original Dock Locker for MULE. And the original front axle in MULE is there as well. So we'll get to a little bit more on that in probably a few minutes.
Some of you are probably aware that MULE got reconfigured, well, 3 or 4 times. Went through a bunch of engines, bunch of transaxles, bunch of this, bunch of that, and obviously, you know, we kind of build as we go and improve on things as we go, and eventually it reached a certain point where, you know, it had basically morphed beyond its original purpose, which there's nothing wrong with that. But there was a time in the past when I decided, hey, I kind of want to get back to basics, and I decided that, you know, I wanted to make something a little bit leaner and a little bit lighter and a little bit more nimble, yada yada yada. So I started stripping it down. Did a video on that, I think, and, you know, playing with the configuration of it. And it wasn't too long before I realized that I couldn't go back. It was literally too far gone. I had proceeded so far with it that trying to bring it back to where I wanted to bring it to just simply wasn't going to happen. So I parted the tractor out, and as you guys are aware, I built Fugazi. And Fugazi was kind of MULE's replacement with a slightly different purpose. The original MULE build started off as pure utility. I was living on 10 acres, about a half an hour from here, and its sole purpose in life was just utility purposes around the farm. You know, it had that carry box on it, it had the onboard air compressor, the onboard booster system, it had the winch, it had a toolbox, and its whole purpose in life was to pull stuff around the farm, boost stuff, yank trailers around, help get things unstuck, pull logs out of the way, whatever the case may be. After a while, I discovered, hey, this is fun too, and that's when it kind of started morphing. When I got around to the point where I started building Fugazi, I kind of wanted to go back and start the whole process over again, except in this time, instead of leaning towards utility, I was leaning towards fun. As I said, you can't get there from here is what it basically boiled down to, so I decided to blow it apart, start a fresh build, parted it out. The back section with the toolbox and the fenders and the rear bumper and all that, I actually traded off for the carcass that became Diesel Weasel. Don't have that anymore, and I sold the hood and the front end to somebody else, and I kept the transaxle, and here it is, and I kept the front axle, which kind of sat around and sort of served a purpose for a while, just dollying things around, and I kept some of the bits and pieces and other odds and sods that didn't mean much to anybody, and I thought, you know, I can probably use that again somewhere. Flash forward to the future, and it looks like some of these original MULE pieces are going back into, guess you're calling it MULE 2.0.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool, with a twist. So it's not going to be a rebuild of the exact same tractor. So let me just get that out there right now. Kind of more of a tribute, same thing, same sort of theme. Built a little bit more purpose specific for what we do here and now, I suppose.
And different colors, because I like different colors.
No. Anyways, as you guys are probably aware, the LT10s and LT12s and all those are based off the exact same stampings as the Lawn Boy LT12 that I started with, and the only difference really is color and the Ford stickers that were plastered on the side. So, you know, for a lot of the fanboys out there, go, it's a Ford. No, it isn't. I think Gilson actually built them in the first place, but it doesn't matter. It's the exact same thing, bolt for bolt, part for part, except for delivery. Okay, so since Greg is working on getting the extra RTV off the bearing out erases and stuff like that, I just wanted to bring up a point that some folks have asked me about, and we've covered this, you know, in the original video, but I'm going to go over it again. Is you will notice that the outside of the bearing has a seal. These were sealed bearings. The inside of the bearing, and I'm just going to zoom in over here. Greg's going to move his hand. Fabulous. Has no seal. Both bearings are the same. I've pulled the seals out of the insides of both bearings, and the purpose for that is so that the oil that's in the case can lubricate the bearings.
All right.
And then the outer seal, its purpose, of course, is to keep the oil from falling out of the transaxle.
Pretty cool system. And to be honest with you guys, I'm pretty happy that I got to meet Doc, because now I get, instead of building, well, just a lawn tractor with mud tires on it, it gets to be a Doc Sprocket special.
And keep touching things. Stop touching it. You'll go blind. Have food.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So I'll break things in the most epic way possible.
Excellent. That's good, because it's got to look good on camera, right?
Oh, it'll look good. Might not feel so good, but it'll look good.
I won't feel a thing.
You might. You might. It depends on who's behind me or in front of me.
Well, if you're going to grenade your crap, you know, make sure you do it a few feet away.
I'll aim for the drone.
I don't think I'm going to be flying that thing in the woods.
Why not?
Because I like it. Because it's expensive. Because I got a great deal on this one, but I couldn't afford to buy another one if I wanted to right now.
Okay. You make some very solid points there. I still think you're going to fly it in the woods at some point.
Maybe moving forward, if I get a great deal on a smaller one, like a Mavic Mini or something like that, I can try that. But not with a Phantom. They're just too damn big. It's the size of your freaking transaxle.
This is true. It was very true.
Frickin' wood stove's hot, man. My ass is on fire. Just do a little shooting here while Greg struggles to reassemble the Dock Locker 2.0.
The locker fell apart. I'm sorry.
What are you, new?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Everything seems to want to turn nicely. Oh.
Till you do that. That's okay. That happens.
All right.
There's nothing holding it down.
So we've got all that together. Everything looks good. And if you notice, here's the gear that was broken.
Yep, the one that's been eliminated.
Which I believe originally sat over here.
No, it actually originally sat over here between first and second. All I did was move it to the end of the stack, and then I put in this shift stop to just keep the shift forks from getting into a gear that's not there.
Fair enough.
So the last thing you have to do is put in the shifter.
Put in the shifter. That's right. And that.
All right, so long side up, index it into the shift fork first, and then drop it into its spot.
Look at that.
There you go. Poof. Presto bingo. Bob's your uncle.
I'm going to leave it like that.
And it's time to get some silicone happening and get some oil happening.
And put some oil in here.
So, yeah, spec on this unit, I believe, is 16 ounces of 8090 or 7590 or whatever the hell you have. I have run all kinds of stuff in these things, including automatic transmission fluid. And for a lot of people, it's automatic transmission fluid does not belong in a gearbox. Wrong! We actually see that in a lot of today's manual transmissions. Ford was especially notorious for speccing that. Anyway, spec is 16 ounces, but what we see here is that as long as you've got enough oil in the case that the gears are pulling it up, you are good.
And if you'll notice, when I spin,
yep, this
you
is
can
like
very
that.
much see that it's pulling the oil up.
That's like that little gizmo at the auto parts store with the Lucas oil stuff, and you play with the gears and spin it and get it all stick into the gears and stuff. Yep, that's it. So that is that's basically what you need. I do not recommend overfilling it because that's when it starts seeping past seals and getting ugly and nasty. You do not need too much gear oil. You just need enough. Just get yourself a nice bead. Staying inside the bolt holes. Yep. Bottom end of the bearing and up and over and around the bearing. If you start leaking oil all over the place in operation, it's because you suck at this. All right, time to start ramming stuff together. Come on, Greg, get it in the hole.
No, apparently not. Oh, the chair's going to take off.
Oh, hold on. You just dislodged that. Let me try and left hand that back in there. There we go. Yay.
Where are you?
Can you put some hair around it?
Why don't you want to sit nicely?
Try rotating the input shaft just a little bit. No, not the shifter, the input shaft. And the seal might be hanging a little bit.
There we go.
There we go. Yay.
Thanks, Doc.
It's all right. Not that I've never done this before, but,
Okay.
And again, let's not forget on these MSTs, there's two on the bottom. Always when you're not filming. What's that?
That's the head.
Right.
Off of there.
Right.
Because, we like to get everything tightened down and then the bolt breaks.
Right.
It's a great thing.
Well,
I mean, there's a dozen other ones on there, so...
should be fine.
We'll give her.
Right.
Send it, fix it later.
Send it, fix it later. Nice going, eh?
The nice thing about it is it broke off flush. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when I pull the case apart, I should be able to grab onto that with something.
Right.
And peel it out.
We're just not doing that now.
No, not taking back.
Okay, tell them what happened.
Well, so not only did we shear a bolt off, but I guess we're going to fix it now. Because I'm going to look down this little hole here that you guys can't see in. That this came out of. And also,
And
this is supposed to be in there.
Yep.
And we're missing another crucial part, which is called the spring.
Yeah, because the spring, which normally just kind of hangs out there waiting, doesn't seem to be there. And we don't know if it fell out of the top case half while it was being manipulated or if it's inside the trans.
So I guess we're going to do this.
Inside the trans is not good.
Seems like...
Now, I can come up with another spring, but we just want to make sure the damn thing is not in there somewhere waiting to be mashed into pulp. All right, well, since, we had to take it apart again, might as well just extract that broken bolt, right?
Yep.
And I happen to know a guy with some spare peerless transaxle parts, so there's another spring, so let's not lose track of that. And this time, we're going to show you how to load that thing in properly.
Okay. Round 2. Fight.
Round 2. Round 2, fight. Player 2 has entered. Or something. All right, so having shot right past all the pain and suffering of, you know, taking that thing apart and all that stuff, we're back together again. So we drop the ball in, we drop the spring in, and then tighten the shift detent set screw. Right? Right. Till it's about flush with the top of the case. Yep, that's cool. Alrighty then. So now, clickety clickety. Cool. So I usually recommend at this point putting the pulley on and spinning the unit and just watching the operation of the axle shaft just to, you know, make sure it's grabbing the gears, make sure there's no hard parts. You are currently, where are you going? Spin, 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 nothing, so that's neutral. I hope it's supposed to be in neutral. Maybe you've got 5 neutrals or 6 neutrals. Alright, so you've grabbed a gear. I heard a click. There we go. Axle shaft is turning. Does it feel like at any point in the rotation it's hard?
Nope.
Good.
So here we are, guys. Dock Locker 2.0 is back together. We decided that we're going to put a pulley on.
It is, what did I say, 5 inch or 5.5?
5 inch.
5 inch. Alright, so we got a 5 inch pulley for the trans. I just got to get the hub zap to it.
So the front axle is, as far as I understand, the original axle from MULE, which, wow, wide. But we're going to send it just because. Why not? If it presents problems, we'll change it. That can happen.
You might knock a couple of trees down, but other than that, I mean, the axle's not going to break. That thing is freaking stout, man. That thing weighs more than MTDs. not MTD axles. That axle weighs more than an MTD.
So, here we go. Up we go. I think that'll probably be good enough to get that transaxle underneath. And, coming back at you soon.
It's up there.
Of course it is.
Can I have a flathead?
I would suggest you have a flathead. But I will pass you this.
Thank you.
Alright, there she is. Looking all yellow and stuff.
Yep. Under a blue tractor. It won't be blue for a while.
It won't be blue. Ew.
But that's it.
Okay.
There goes. That basically means we ain't getting it. So I guess entertainment.
Alright, so I think that's about going to do it for today's adventure in Area 51. That was exciting. When the pulley is stuck, you just cut the crap out of it until it's no longer stuck. Anyways, transaxle's up in the tractor. We got a 7-inch pulley on the engine. We think that's going to do the job. We got a, what, 7 on the front and 5 on the back?
7 on the front, 5 in the back. Yeah.
Right, should be zippy enough to do the job. The pulley's kind of just roughly on there because we don't know where it's actually going to sit until we start doing belt alignment, which is going to be later. Anyways, Greg, your thoughts on today?
Death Trap Mule 2.0. Definitely going to be a thing.
Death Trap. He's riding it.
It's my tractor.
Yes, it is.
I like to try and die. If it doesn't try and kill me, it's no fun.
Right, so the only thing I've asked at this point is that you ride a few feet away from me so when the thing explodes, I don't catch the shrapnel.
No. You misunderstand. You got to be right there. Right there.
I don't like you that much. I'm going to keep a few feet away.
Learn to dodge.
Learn to Chevy!
I know how to Chevy. I own one.
Right, and it doesn't scatter parts all over the... Well, the transmission's kind of...
All right. Well, let's not talk about too much about that.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to Sprocket's Garage on YouTube, and until next time, take care of yourself.
Good night.
To demonstrate. There you go. See, red light rolling, no red light not rolling. Not rolling.